global stock market's daily trading volume averages $264 billion worldwide, and this is broken down into the daily average of $50 billion in the United States, £6 billion in the UK, and 4.5 billion Australian dollars in Australia alone. For the past 200 years, we've all been trading via the traditional stock market, a tried and tested way of investment, a regulated, centralized and geographically limited market, offering an extremely low speed of liquidity. And in 2017 came the global ICO craze, where over 430 cryptocurrencies emerged, amassing a total of $5 billion worth of coins. However, most of these coins failed in a spectacular fashion due to lack of regulation. ICO, also known as Initial Coin Offering, is a decentralized blockchain concept which boasts global availability. However, it is not available for listing on major exchanges, thus the reason it lacks control and regulation. A major shift is happening in the world of finance right now as we speak. S.T.O, also known as Security Token Offering, is offering the best of both worlds, securing its place as the next big thing since ICOs. S.T.O uses blockchain technology, and it is regulated under the traditional stock market. This allows blockchain and cryptocurrencies to restore some much-needed credibility. While traditional securities are slow and expensive, security tokens facilitate services at a lower cost. They are also traded on specialized security exchanges, providing investors with a convenient way to liquidate their assets. With S.T.O, we are no longer restricted geographically, as borders or regional regulations do not limit security tokens. Whether we like it or not, the world is rapidly changing right in front of our eyes, and our capability to transform and adapt is what ensures both our survival and success. Welcome to the equilibrium, a state in which opposing forces or influences are balanced, because for every yin, there will be a yang. And much like yin and yang, achieving the ideal balance between the two markets is vital to the progress of the financial ecosystem, and that is the guiding principle at the heart of Uni-Equilibrium, or Uni-E, the new token created within the Unihash Smart Contract blockchain technology. A total of 420 million coins will be issued, with 40% released via mining. Uni-E is the base cryptocurrency for S.T.O transactions, and the Unihash board is the S.T.O gateway under the Sydney Stock Exchange. With more than 2,000 companies featured in the Unihash board soon, the choices and potential are truly limitless. This is a call to action, to be a part of an ecosystem where all the action lies. The birth of a new arena, where you get the best of both worlds. The start of a new dream, where you can trade with peace of mind. And that is the beauty of the equilibrium.
One. Fire Engineering New Jersey. About podcast. Fire Engineering magazine's been devoted to the training interests of firefighters since 1877. Listen to the lineup of podcasts featuring viewpoints from firefighters from around the nation. Frequency about 3 posts per week. Podcast Blog Talk Radio. com/FireEngine. Facebook fans 446,786. Twitter followers 56,952. 2. Firefighter Training Podcast. About podcast. Peter Lamb is a 35-year veteran of the fire service and has led 3 suburban fire departments and has served in multiple capacities at the Massachusetts Firefighting Academy up to and including serving as the Director of State Training. Frequency about 3 posts per month. Podcast Pete Lamb. Libsyn. Facebook fans NA. Twitter followers NA. 3. Average Jake Firefighter Podcast. Virginia. About podcast. Average Jake Firefighter is a podcast for every firefighter from the probie to the experienced chief officer. Frequency about 2 posts per month. Podcast Anchor. FM/Average Jake. Facebook fans NA. Twitter followers 8,977. 4. The Volunteer Firefighter Podcast, DTFF. About podcast. Are you down to fight fire? Then listen in to a group of rural volunteer firefighters as we discuss how our department works together to innovate, adapt and overcome the challenges we face both on and off the fire ground. Frequency about 4 posts per month. Podcast Anchor. FM/VFF Facebook fans 4560. Twitter followers NA. 5. Multiple Calls podcast about podcast. Multiple Calls podcast talks about how and why each guest's journey to the firefighting job is, what challenges they have faced overall and how they made it through them, the struggles they see for firefighter service and their ideas on how each of us can help ground and progress the job, as well as what keeps them inspired and motivated. Frequency about 1 post per month. Podcast SoundCloud.com/Scott Hewlett. Facebook fans 1309. Twitter followers NA. 6. The Fire Rescue Show, all about firefighters and firefighting about podcast, an informative bi-weekly firefighting podcast that provides interesting fire safety tips and guest interviews with firefighters, EMS personnel, and even police officers. This is where we discuss fire safety, fire trucks, and the equipment they carry, with the host Jared. Frequency about 2 posts per month. Podcast listen notes.com/podcast/. Facebook fans NA. Twitter followers NA. 7. Code 3, the Firefighters Podcast Prescott, Arizona about podcast, the twice-weekly podcast for and about firefighters. Code 3 covers topics of interest to those in the fire service, through interviews with those who know it best.